I wanna fold clothes for you.
Right, so this new J. Cole album, For Your Eyez Only, is like I actually quite liked it. You know, try to go all arty-farty with my words and bluff. No, we're gonna go straight to the point. I liked it. I thought it was good. In fact, I'll say the rating right now. 7 out of 10. A lot of people have been comparing this album to what Kendrick Lamar has done, sometimes on a stylistic level and sometimes on a topical level in terms of the fact that they're very conscious hip-hop artists and they're trying to tackle the topic of the system against African Americans, whilst Kendrick criticizes the system from sort of a third-person sort of view. There are moments where he showcases his personal point of view, but for the most part it seems that, you know, it's just kind of commenting on the system, really. But J. Cole, on this album, seems to be criticizing the system from the point of view of someone who has struggled under it, personally. And of course, if you listen to some of these songs, you can tell that this is probably J. Cole's most personal project to date. There are songs here dedicated to his wife. There's a song here about folding clothes because it's a simple act of love that can mean a lot to someone that you care about.
I wanna fold clothes for you.
Of course, the song Folding Clothes comes across really cheesy, right? I will totally admit that. But I don't think it's that bad. You know, in the context of the album, kind of relating to his personal values about his family and his wife, I think it kind of works. No, but seriously, the more interesting songs on here seem to be the ones that do approach those political topics. We're talking about tracks like Immortal, Change, Neighbours, and of course the final track, For Your Eyez Only. The ending verse of Immortal kind of addresses the stereotypes that are kind of holding African Americans back. You know, there's this stereotype that in order for an African American to be successful or wealthy, they have to be a hip-hop artist, they have to be a professional basketball player, or in the most drastic of cases, they have to resort to selling drugs. And he expands on this with the song Neighbours, which is actually recounting an incident where, you know, the neighbours saw that he was reeling in all that cash and reeling in all that success, and then they thought that because of that, he might have been selling dope. Although the last track, For Your Eyez Only, is a very long track. It does seem a bit long-winded, considering it's got one of the slower beats on the album, as well as the fact that it goes on for 8 minutes, so it can be easy to zone out of. But if you actually sit down and listen to the lyrics, you kind of catch the idea that this album is actually not about J. Cole's personal life, but rather the story of James McMillan, one of his close friends, another person who had struggled under the system, although J. Cole does draw parallels between his and James's life. I respect the whole concept here. The reason that it isn't always quite strong is usually just a couple of tracks here and there that don't really vibe with me that well. There are 2 tracks here called She's Mine, Part 1 and Part 2, and they're really kind of tender, intimate tracks about confessing his love for his wife and stuff. And I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to be emotionally sensitive, and, you know, She's Mine Part 1 kind of has this lack of charisma about it. The delivery of the lyrics are kind of just very deadpan. I don't feel like I can emotionally connect because they're just so deadpan and they're so emotionless. Even though I know the lyrics are supposed to be emotional, the delivery isn't. She's Mine Part 2, a smidge more charismatic though, so I will give it that. However, I will say the instrumentals on those tracks are beautiful. The gorgeous string sections on those tracks just absolutely blow me away. The one track here that really didn't click with me at all was the track Deja Vu. Deja Vu on this album has a similar instrumental. In fact, it's the same exact sample as the track Exchange by Bryson Tiller. And I'm not even a big Bryson Tiller fan. I'm not even a fan of his at all. The instrumental was very similar, and even lyrically it wasn't one of the more interesting tracks on here anyways. So I think that J. Cole's new album here is probably one of his better ones. Actually, I think it's his best one to date. There's more compelling production, instrumentals that will really just reel you in most of the time anyways, and lyrics that are a little more conceptual. I think this album is pretty great, honestly, in my opinion. I'd give it a 7 out of 10, as I said before. You already knew that. Yeah. Sweet.